Welcome to lunch at Uncle Jason's, y'all. Wait till you try this. I'm going to show you how I make my pork chops and gravy. Alright, y'all, I'm making some pork chops and gravy. Simple, good dish. I got my big cooker out and I got probably about 6 or 7 pork chops in here bone in. I cut them in half. Put some bacon grease in the bottom of the pan and some polywog cabin seasoning on my chops, and I'm just going to brown these off real good. Alright, y'all, as these chops are browning up, you can see on the bottom of the pan the greemies or the gratin that's forming. That's what you want. And as they brown, I'm just transferring them to a plate over here, and I'm going to continue to let them cook until all of them are good and brown. Alright, y'all, I got all of my chops out, and I'm fixing to add in 1.5 large onions that I have just roughly diced up, and I'm going to sit here and cook these, and it's going to loosen that greemies up on the bottom, and we are going to let them brown, so give me a minute. I'm also going to season these up a little bit with some polywog cabin seasoning. And we're going to let these brown up. It's important to season this real good, and you'll see why in just a few minutes when I get to the rest of the menu. Now right here, y'all, you can add celery, bell pepper, whatever you want. I'm just adding onions today. That's all I want in mine. So we'll have this wrapping up in a few. So these onions are getting brown. I am now going to add a big scoop. That's probably about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic in this pot, and I'm going to let it cook for probably about another minute or two, just so that garlic can start working out. This is smelling wonderful, y'all. I wish you could smell it. Y'all, these have sweated down for a few minutes with the garlic and onion. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of water. That's probably about a cup of water right there, just to go ahead and finish that greemies from releasing from the bottom of the pan. Look at that color, y'all. That looks amazing. So we're going to let these onions and garlic cook for just a couple of more minutes, and then we're going to come back and add the pork chops back in. Y'all, these have cooked. I'm going to go ahead and add my pork chops back into the pot. All that juice from that plate that you had your chops on, you want that back in your pot. So I'm going to just move these chops around and get them as level in there as I can. It's okay if they overlap some, that's fine. It ain't going to hurt them at all. Okay, now I'm going to add some more water. I'm going to just add enough water to cover them. Alright, y'all, here I go. I'm going to add just enough water to just cover my chops. Just like that. And I'm going to cut my heat back up, bring it up to a boil, and put the lid on it, and we're going to cook it for about 1.5 hours. Y'all, as this comes back up to the boil, I did taste it, and I think I'm going to need a little salt, so I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of salt to that and give it a little stir, a little mix. And as this cooks, y'all, I'm going to keep a check on it. I'm going to, once it comes up to a rolling boil, I'm going to cut it down to a simmer, put the lid on my pot, and I'm going to let it cook for about 1.5 hours, but I'm going to come back in here periodically, check the water level. You want the water to stay no less than halfway level with your pork chops. You don't have to have it covering it the whole time, but you want some water in there, because that's what's going to make your gravy. That's why we got that greemies on the bottom of the pan so brown, so that it would make your gravy. So we're going to cut this down to a simmer. I'm going to put the lid on it, and we'll come back in a few minutes and stir it. Alright, y'all, this has been cooking for about 15 minutes now, and I'm just going to give it a little stir and check my water, and everything's looking good still. That's about the level of the water you're going to want on here. And I will come back in here in a few minutes and check it again, probably another 15 minutes. I'll do this about like I say, about every 15 minutes, and check the water level and give it a little stir. If the water starts getting a little bit lower than this right here, I'll add a little bit more water. I'll taste it. If it needs more salt or polywog cabin seasoning, I'll put that in. So, like I said, this is going to go for about an hour and a half, and this is what I'll do every 15 minutes. Y'all, this has 15 more minutes to go. So, this last 15 minutes, I'm going to take the lid off and let some more of that liquid evaporate. And while that's cooking, I got some rice on the stove over there. But that's what we're going to do. You got about 15 minutes and we'll be able to eat. Alright, y'all, this has got 5 more minutes to cook. And right here I have mixed up 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water. I'm just going to add this in to this boiling liquid and give it a stir. And this is going to slightly thicken this gravy in here. And that's what you want. And y'all, if you don't want to do cornstarch, you can do, if you got a roux, some extra roux laying around. I have some of that too in the refrigerator. I could have used it. But you can use that by all means. It won't hurt it a bit. But this is what this is looking like. I'm going to give this another 5 minutes, y'all, and we are going to mange. We're going to try this and see how it tastes. So y'all give me just a few minutes. Look at them onions and all. Oh my goodness, that looks amazing. Y'all, do you see this? These pork chops, I want you to look. They are so tender, they are just fall apart. Let me give this a taste. Y'all, that is absolutely wonderful. You gotta make this. This is so good. That gravy in that rice and on them pork chops, y'all, that is seasoned to perfection. Give this a try and let me know what you think. See y'all next time. Love you and be blessed.